right, let's do this thing. What's up, everyone? My name is AJ Wrights Crypto. I am here. I made it back. I'm still sick, as you can tell. I don't know what's up with me. I feel good and I feel better, and then I feel worse again. I don't know if I need to like see a doctor or something, but I have like some sort of respiratory type issue. It's not fun. It's not fun at all. I've I was still very grateful to go to Nashville this weekend. I've kind of figured that, I felt a little bit better on Friday. We actually weren't going to go, and I felt better. And we already had the hotel, we already had the rent a car. I had 2 media passes waiting for me in Nashville with Racer X magazine. Shout out to Davey Coombs and Racer X, the largest media outlet in all of motocross. And I contribute to that magazine time and time again. And I was like, let's just go. Let's just get out of here. And if I'd rather be there and try to push through than stay here and feel like this. So we went, and it was a great time. And I really pushed through, and I felt like I was going to be good. And then the next morning I woke up and I was just like right back to it. I was like, dude, this is gnarly. And excuse me. So I'm giving it hell, but I do appreciate everybody here. I do have a lot to talk about. The news hasn't really mattered to me as much. I've been watching the charts a big time. Excuse me. There's about 77 people here. Thank you all very much for being here. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I really appreciate that. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We have Mr. Mojo, Risen, David Woods, Des Brooks, SWFL Crypto, one of my platinum Telegram members. Thanks for being here, SWFL. Gazer, Lee F says, AJ, I traded my XRP bags for Ondo. How would you rate that? Well, sometimes I'm off and sometimes I'm Ondo. I think it's cool to be in something that's moving. That's fun. Crypto Mushroom, Gene G, everybody, you guys rock. Thanks for being here. Man, this is rough. I am going to give it hell. I think this week I'm just going to push through it regardless of how I feel. I will tell Ben and Jay Shanes, like, hey, let's play the 6-foot game. Let's go back to COVID rules. Don't touch me. That's the game I'm going to play. And I'm a little bit behind on content, and I wanted to come in here last week, and I thought about live streaming from my house, but like I could barely talk. Like right now, like my voice is obviously a little shot. It was like down here. There's no way. It was no way it was gonna happen. But thank you to everybody, all the positivity in the house. I better get my shit together. That's true, because we're going to Philadelphia on Friday. Philadelphia Supercross on Saturday. I only bought 26 tickets for everyone in my family and a handful of my friends, and we also have media passes for there as well. And the race was absolutely awesome. I got to go to the press conference. The press conference is actually aired on YouTube. Bunch of views. I asked a question in both the 450 and 250 class. Cracked a joke to Cooper Webb. He thought that was fun. It's just cool. Like, you know what I mean? I think a lot of people don't like really understand the whole moto thing, but the people that understand both worlds are like, dude, how do you have a media pass? So yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, it makes me happy. And I would really like to see some more integration between the motocross and the crypto world. To be honest, I think they're both up and coming spaces. I mean, motocross is been putting in more numbers every year. The fan base is growing larger with the inflow of new riders like Hayden Deegan, like Jet Lawrence, stuff like that. And I would really like to see crypto sponsors get into motocross, and I am trying to make that happen too. I think that would be absolutely amazing. Motocross, there's so much that can be done. A little bit would go so far in that industry. It's a very small industry, and it would just be really cool to find a way to connect some dots from my world here in crypto back to motocross. So I'm trying to give back to the community that created me. You know what I mean? So big shout out to that entire community. What happened to that crypto that they had in Moto last year? Okay, what I think he's talking about, there was a crypto exchange. I don't even remember their name. that did sponsor the Supercross series 2 years ago. That I don't even know if that exchange is still going, but that was the only connection then. But I would like to see something a little bit better. Yeah, a crypto sponsor for pro bass fishing would be dope. That's what I'm saying. And really, it comes down to the ROI of the market. Well, first of all, think of it like this. I touched on this a little bit before, but think of it like this. Like right now, the halving just happened, right? Halving just happened. So all the sponsorship dollars, the marketing money, it's there right now. It's there right now in a big way. As a KOL, as an influencer, I see how much, gets thrown around to me, to people below me, to people bigger than me, like Ben. I understand, this game, it's a profitable game. The attention business, the business of attention. All right. And what I'm saying is that why wouldn't a crypto sponsor dirt bike racing or pro bass fishing or golf or whatever? Because really, at the end of the day, if you can prove empirically, 300,000 people watch this show, every weekend, you're going to have this many X amount of eyes on it, this many, if you can prove the numbers on the engagement, it could be worth it. It could be worth it, especially if they're willing to pay as much as they're willing to pay for people like me, people like Ben. It would make sense for them to sponsor live events or to sponsor sports. I just, it's really about that ROI. And if you can prove that, this many people, if you, so you say you have only 100,000 people watch a program, right? And 1% of those people does a call to action, like goes to a website or whatever, and only 10% of that 1% does anything. I mean, when you're talking over 100,000 people, that's still a lot of people, so that's my take there. That's my take there. Get Hopper on your channel. Hopper has been on my channel. He's my friend. He's a good friend of mine, Johnny Hopper. He's been doing well in the trading wars too. He's been killing. He's a smart guy. He's a really smart guy. He actually came to Johnny Hopper came to the Catching Up to Crypto book tour. He was there in Arizona. That's when I first met him in person. We were friends on the internet before that. And man, he's awesome. He's awesome. Got a $5 super chat from Nels Santiago. AJ, AJ, this show today is your MJ flu game. Thoughts on Forza? I'll check the chart. I don't know. I'm not sure about the project off the top of my head, but I'll check the chart. But thank you. All right, so let's take a quick look at the markets here. So this market recovery has been very interesting to say the least. My head's not that important right now. All right, so let me get a refresh here. Make sure we got the most up-to-date prices that we can. Bitcoin 66,000. ETH back over 3K. BNB almost back to 600. Solana back over 150. This is really good news, everybody. This is really good news. And before I get into the nitty gritty, I have to talk about, a lot of the content and videos I made before. Like obviously this most recent fall, I saw this one coming a mile away. I made the video like, hey, like set those levels, set that alarm. When that alarm goes off, react to the market. I can't tell you what to do, but I can try my best to kind of like, come on, guys, like this is happening. And ever since that fall, I have been concerned that any pump after that fall is kind of just a spike in the downtrend. You can still pump in a downtrend, you know what I mean? And I have been worried about that. I will take a long look at the charts in the show. We will take a long look at the charts in the show. And I am starting to think that maybe 60,000, really, we did dip into the high 50s, but we held 60. Let's just say that, we held 60. I think that we might never go that, we could dip back into the 50s. I'm not saying we can't dip back into the 50s, but I'm saying like this might be the new baseline. we might never really go that far down ever again with the ETF and the big injection of institutional money. And like I said, everybody, like I, people, say charts is like is a market psychology is, the charts are a reflection of every trader, right? I'm kind of taking a step further than that, and so to trying to tie into what I said before. I don't think that all of these companies would be spending millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars in marketing money if they weren't, you know, fairly confident about the true implications of the bull run we have coming. I think that crypto, I feel like once Bitcoin gets to the 80s, once Bitcoin gets to the 90s, man, I don't really know if we're going to be seeing 40,000 show its face that much anymore. I think, have not gotten more than a 22% pullback yet since the bottom. That is kind of terrifying to think about. But I know I will show you kind of more of my thoughts with the charts here in a minute, but I did want to get that off my chest. All right, let's go back here. Let me zoom in on this bad boy a little bit. We got Toncoin back 610. Very interesting chart on Toncoin. Talked about that in the Telegram group yesterday. All right, I want to look at the chain link. $15, man. That seems so cheap right now. Near, I did buy a bunch of near, in the six range. And every time I buy near, it's just like, all right, let's pump now. Near is such a great project. They're killing it. They are absolutely killing it. ICP below, right at $15. That seems like a pretty good buy as well. Let's keep on rolling here. Render under 10. Steel. Hbar right back to 9 cents. Good to see Hbar wake up. VeChain back to 4.1. And I will say about VeChain really fast is VeChain really did a good job holding its value. I remember, I was at the UFC, the press conference when they did they talked about the gloves, the release of the gloves, the RWA gloves. And when we were at that press conference, I had my phone on silent because it was a press conference and I had to film. And when I'm filming, I don't want to be filming something and have someone call me and it stops the recording when I'm trying to film something. So we were in that press conference for 2 hours. And when I turned my phone back on, when I turn off Do Not Disturb, that was when most of the crash actually happened, was during that fucking press conference. And it was funny because so many things were like 20%, 25% down, just boom, wrecked, And VeChain was just like at 4.1, 3.9. VeChain did such a great job holding its value during that dip. And I was actually really paying attention to that. Like, which coins were really fluctuating and which coins that like went down a little bit, but like nothing crazy. And, VeChain was certainly one of those projects. I think that has a lot. There's a lot to be said about that, about, how many people are confidently holding their VeChain, in terms, maybe there's not as much open interest, but maybe there's a lot of confident holders. And I think VeChain's one to watch. We got Dog Whiff. I talk about this coin a lot in the Telegram group because it's so volatile and because there's so much liquidity in Phemex. On Phemex, you really want to go with the coins that have a lot of liquidity, especially if you're doing larger leverage plays. You want to be able to get in and out of those trades as fast as you can. That's why that coin shows up time and time again. The graph, almost back to 30 cents. Thank God. Thank God. You want to look at Phantom here at 76. I think that's still an absolute steal. Anytime you can buy Phantom under $1. Oh my God. Arweave 33 still seems cheap. Algorand 19 cents needs to wake itself back up. Quant 107 needs to wake itself back up. But the fact that these have fallen down the list a little bit from the 50s to 60s to 70s, that doesn't really change my mind on how I feel about either of these coins for the long term. I have been a little bit more worried about Quant than I have been Algorand. I think Algorand is certainly in a building phase right now where they need they're really working on getting more developers. They have Python, the AlgoKit 2.0 and all that. They just got a new CMO. Hopefully I can interview him on the channel here soon. And it's a building phase for them, and it's going to take time to get new developers in the door on Python, and I think it's going to take time. Algorand's going to take time, and I'm a patient guy. But seeing it out, outside the top, in the 70s, that it's not going to stay there long. It's not going to stay there long. And then really only a $1.5 billion market cap, man. This thing got a long way to go. Long way to go. All right, and Singularity Net just under $1. I saw that before I scrolled up. All right, let me Tristan Gage, $5 super chat. Thanks for the $5 super chat, Tristan. What did you think about Ben putting Hbar in the B tier of crypto? I feel like putting XRP over Hbar might be crazy. Any thoughts or feelings? Well, I haven't seen the video. I think Ben's rating system is good. I mean, I know no one is doing it better. That's for sure. Then putting it, how he splits it up in each sector, like the community, utility, fundamentals, and he kind of grades it together. I think it's a smart way to do the video, to be honest. I mean, obviously, is there going to be bias in those? I mean, of course, no one can make a completely objective crypto video. It's kind of impossible. That's not a shot. That's just, it's a statement at everybody who makes any video about any project. I think a B grade isn't. I think it's not a C. It's not a C. I wouldn't. I would have, if someone actually would say, "Hey, AJ, Ben graded Hbar on a B, C, D, F. What grade would you think Ben gave Hbar?" I would guess that Ben would give it a B. Yeah, that makes sense. Personally, I would give it an A. But I also know a lot more about Hbar than Ben does, and and in terms of fundamentals overall, I mean, it's probably not going to be a crazy, pumper like other coins, like some of the newer projects, like the Ondos, the Arrows, the stuff like that. Those projects, it wouldn't surprise me to see projects like that pump harder than Hbar. Where Hbar to me is kind of more of a solid, straight down the middle, minimum 8x. You know what I mean? Do I think I can do better? Yes, I do. I do think I can do better. But to me, it's more about, look at what they're doing. Like look at what they're actually doing. With the governing council, man, dude, how when there will be a time. Let me say this. I didn't know how to say this. There will be a time where millions of people will be using Hedera, and they won't even realize they'll be using it. They won't even realize they'll be using it. Like when you're, in the App Store, does someone ask you if you're, on an app? Is that app made by Apple? Like, is that app made by no? Like you're just using an app on your phone. You know what I mean? And that is what I'm saying with Hedera. Like it's not. It doesn't need to be in everyone's faces because of what they're doing. Man, for me, to be honest with you, Hedera isn't A for a project, but I understand what he means by a B. Maybe I should watch the video first, but I kind of feel like I already got the gist of it. Decrypto just wants me to get that graph price prediction out. Hey, I did a graph price prediction. You asking me 5 or 10x? I don't know. Watch the video. It's there. It did well. It's one of my best videos on the channel. I do want. I am going to get back to doing some price predictions. I kind of I took a break from them because I want this channel to be more than price prediction videos. It is just kind of a reflection of crypto itself. Like, I want to be known for more, I really want to help as many people as I can, not just get into the door of crypto, but to really get into the door and run down the hallway. And like learn everything they can. And, kind of take that grind mentality and take it into crypto. I do want to help people with that. But, I think the reason I press pause on doing price predictions is because that's not the only thing it bums me out when I try to do all these other videos on the channel. And if it's not a price prediction video, like it's not going over 10,000. And I'm just like, damn it. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to figure it out. Like I'm trying to do like, I want to provide value in a way that, because like if one price prediction video is wrong, you know what I mean? Like it's not good. You know what I mean? And I try my damnedest with those videos. Those videos take me so much time. You guys have no idea. I did talk about this a couple weeks ago on the channel, but I don't feel as compelled to make them as I did before. I think before I was just so excited to do anything. But now it's just kind of like, I don't want to be that guy. You know what I mean? But I'm still going to make price prediction videos, but not nearly as many as I used to. But, all right, let's keep it rolling here. We got a $5 super chat from Jesse Walter. Thank you, Jesse, for the super chat. Hear me out. The best thing for utility tokens like Algo in parentheses would be for the SEC to enforce regulations that wipe out meme coins. Upside down smiley face. Don't hurt me. Excuse me. Gross. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's hilarious, Jesse. I mean, it would definitely open up the market share a little bit. And dude, like I think that that's what happened last bull run. Jesse, is what happened. What you're saying is what happened is that a lot of people were saying 100K Bitcoin, 100K Bitcoin, 100K Bitcoin. That's why a lot of people didn't even sell close to the top, because when it hit, in the high 60s and it came back down to the 50s, they said, oh, well, it's just going to turn around and pump back up and then go to 100. And it never did. And because so many people were stuck on that 100K number, they were unable to see it and they were unable to sell in the 60s. And why did that happen? Well, if you remember the metaverse pump, that distracted so many people. So many people got distracted from the metaverse pump. Remember when sand went to $8? Mana just ripping, Engine, projects like Block, like that shit was insane. And because this was the first time that we've seen that many altcoins do that well. And, consequently, what happened was it kind of distracted a lot of money from the market cap. It distracted the money from the market cap that would have made a lot of other people's price predictions correct. And when you say that, like, hey, I think the best thing for projects like Algorand would be if the SEC, enforce regulations to wipe out meme coins. I'm not going to support that. I think meme coins have deserved they deserve a place in the space as they are a door to mass adoption. A lot of people find crypto through meme coins. That's very common. But I do hate to see how much of it is, how many meme coins are scams, how many, pre-sales just go to shit, stuff like that. So I think there will eventually be some sort of regulation that prevents it's not so much a meme coin being created, it's the way it gets created. And I feel like certain ways of them getting created is going to fall out there a little bit. So yeah, I mean, but if that happened, the market cap would be a lot less distracted, if I was saying before. Jesse killed AJ. Are we dumping right now? Let me take a quick look at the charts. It is already 11:05. Holy snap. All right, yeah. So I'm going to get into the chart section here. Got a lot of them to talk about. Okay, so first thing I always do, everybody, is I look at the stock market. I look at the S&P 500. All right, and this is kind of how, when I made that video before the drop off, saying, hey, set these levels, you're about to get wrecked. It was because of this. because the stock market has been putting in higher highs, higher lows the whole way up the street. And it finally started putting in lower highs and lower lows. And since then, it has, kind of fallen off a little bit, right? That was kind of my giveaway for a lot of the altcoins, was this chart right here, the normal ass stock market. All right. Since then, it has, kind of formed a little div here. Price going down, and we got a negative 320 on the dual band strength index. I don't know what my volume profile. I gotta click it twice for some reason. So we really would like to see not, it looks like a bear cross is about to happen on the S&P on the 2 hour. Not the best thing in the world. When we kind of look at the daily, it's a little bit more clear about, I think the next move. This, because this line right here is the 2021 all-time high. Okay. So it would be nice because, if you kind of look at that level, let me actually draw it. I thought I had my trend line on. Look at this little level right here and look at where it reversed. I mean, that would certainly be an alarm you'd want to set on the S&P, because, it did kind of stutter here a little bit before it continued up, had a couple candles land there. And then that's where it turned. And I also look at market cipher here at the bottom. I do want to say, the money flow is still in the green. It is kind of coming down. The RSIs, moving averages are coming down. But look at this, look at this wave here. This is a deep, deep push. You see how these other waves, kind of close over here. It's even a little deeper than this one back here. My head's blocking that one. But you get my point. This one has really gone all the way down, and what you normally want to see when things, are about to come up, you'll very rarely see a big pump off something like that. You kind of want that big deep wave, right? And it's about to print a dot right there. In a day or so, it's going to look like that. All right. And that's not there yet. And also you can kind of see the white line. See that? The little thin white line getting thinner. That's kind of a giveaway for that as well. And, so I do see the stock market kind of turning around here. And if it could push back, that 6% back up and fight that all-time high, that's really, best case scenario, what we want to see with the stock market. Okay. So if I were you on the S&P 500, let me actually get this line here perfectly drawn. So that actually is where it double bottomed. Okay. So kind of off of that there. So this level where it turned around and has support resistance is at 4948. 4948 on the S&P. That is 1,000%. I'm just going to set in an only once alarm on that one. That is a big alarm. Big alarm. Because if this thing, continues to bleed down, bet your bottom dollar, so will crypto. Okay. If this thing can kind of bounce and even range in here, that would be fine. That would be great. But we don't want to see it lose this. And most importantly, we don't want to see this S&P lose that 2021 high. Okay. That's really the most important level, is that 2021 high. That kind of takes us back to the old range. We want to be we want to stay in somewhat in discovery here. Okay. So with all that said, let's look at Bitcoin. Marsh went against his own rules and got wrecked on a high leverage Bitcoin short. Damn it, Marsh. All right. So this is the first thing I'll say about Bitcoin, is that it took a while for Bitcoin to actually, let me get rid of market cipher here for a second. It took a while for Bitcoin to actually start putting in higher lows, higher highs. Okay. It's, technically speaking right now, Bitcoin is in a local uptrend. This is a 2-hour chart. All right. And it did get above the 200, couple 2-hour closes above the 200 EMA. That's amazing. It's actually, 16 -3 on the 2-hour. That's anything above a 14 is a strong degree of certainty. That's not a good sign. And, it is Monday morning. But that's not what we want to see. And we have a 3% fall to the point of control where all the volume is sitting at 63.8. All right. So I would really, best case scenario for on the 2-hour would see Bitcoin, maybe come down, test the 50, turn around. But the point here is that Bitcoin is in an uptrend. You see these blue lines right there? Not the yellow lines I just drew, but these blue lines. Bitcoin's in an uptrend. All right. So you need to draw this uptrend. All right. There's also a big support resistance level right here at 63.3. Yeah, 633. All right. That's a big SR level you want to draw. And we would really like to see, Bitcoin maintain this local uptrend. So you're definitely going to want to set your alarms on the bands of this uptrend. And why? Because you're in an uptrend until you're not. You're in an uptrend until you're not. And I really, I feel a lot safer, a lot better about my altcoin bags. I feel a lot better with crypto overall, as long as Bitcoin maintains inside of this uptrend. If it breaks down out of this uptrend, loses this level, now we're having that conversation again. But as long as it's holding here right now, and it's even above the 200 EMA, we do feel a little bit safe right now. All right, we did look heavy red in the market cipher. And look, we're finally getting back into the green in market cipher. Also, when you zoom out and look at, say, the daily on Bitcoin, the daily is really where you start to see the bigger picture. All right, and let me look at it on a different chart that doesn't have that local. Let me pull a different chart here so that's not as dirty, so I can kind of just show what I want to show you here. Bitcoin, take the Bollinger Band off. 7 instead. Okay, so get rid of this. Cool. So what I'm saying, I need my volume profile. Sweet. All right, so Bitcoin cannot lose this level. Bitcoin cannot go, my number has been there 61.5, 61,000 range. That's where a lot of the close, it has wicked below that, but that has really been, the spot. We wicked here, stuttered here, bodied here. We did wick below, but we held above. When that alarm went off, when we wicked below, I was a very nervous person that night. Didn't do anything impulsive, but the 61,000 range, we really need to hold this. With a negative 519 on the daily chart for Bitcoin dual band strength index, very good reading. And I would really like to see Bitcoin. It is kind of fighting above this little low level right there. It actually is above it right now. We could see Bitcoin push up. We really could see Bitcoin push up and retest all-time highs here. Maybe even in the next couple of weeks. It's not impossible. Just when you kind of look at the oscillator, we're still in the green. We came down, pushing back up. This is good. It looks good on the daily, is what I'm trying to say. But overall, we talked about the local uptrend. That is good news. But really, it all comes down to this level here. Okay, because if you look at the volume, there's a big old gap in the volume that doesn't even wake up to the 52s or the 42s. And that's why Bitcoin moves so fast between here and here, because there was no volume. So if we lose this level, it's probably going just as fast as it came up. It's just as fast as it's going to go down. And we don't want to see Bitcoin go into the 52s. Right now, I am looking up for Bitcoin. I'm going to continue looking up for Bitcoin, especially as long as Bitcoin respects the realm of this local uptrend it has formed. And this is why, everybody, you need to follow along. Set this damn alarm on this damn uptrend, because if we break down out of this, it's how you time your shorts. Okay, that's how you time the shorts. But for right now, I'm smooth sailing. But aren't we priming for another drop? Christo stock. I mean, that's kind of, it's possible. I don't want to. I can't really say that, to be honest. This second, because on the daily we actually look pretty good. We look pretty good on the daily. And if you kind of want to look at like this, you could consider that being a thing, which is why Bitcoin really needs to push up. If Bitcoin kind of pushes up here, I mean, listen, this little stutter step structurally isn't the end of the world. Because if you kind of look at, the other, we did put in a lower low from this low, but we kind of held this same level. So this kind of becomes like a flat floor, right? And if Bitcoin could go Like, no problem. No problem. So I'm not saying we're priming for another drop or anything of that sort. And even on the daily chart, Bitcoin getting back above that 50 EMA on the daily, that is such a big deal. Look, Bitcoin right now is above the 50 EMA on the daily. Anytime, the price is below the 50 EMA, like that way, bearish continuation. Anytime the price is above the 50 EMA, like this whole run here, bullish continuation. And the fact that Bitcoin has currently fought back above that on the daily chart, we look better than most right now. I was a very nervous person when Bitcoin was under that 50 EMA right here. I was terrified. Very nervous person. The fact we're above it, the fact that we formed a local uptrend, I've said all these things. You get my point. I'm even if we have temporary, drops to, we're at 65.8 right now. If we go to 61, 62, 63, I'm not that worried. It's really what it really comes down to with Bitcoin is this level right here. I probably have this alarm on another chart, but I'm going to set it on this one too, because that, 61,000 level, that is the difference. That is the level. All right. Yeah, if we can get the 69, we're going to rip. I completely agree. All right, I got two questions here from the chat. AJ, how do you get the VRVP on the right side of the chart? Very simple. So you come up here and you go to indicators. You type VRVP, visible range volume profile. That's the one. That's the one I use right there. You click that, it'll pop up right over here. Hex and Tino, can you talk about Bitcoin on the weekly? Yeah, why not? I do have a couple altcoins I've been watching, hence the title of the show today. Yeah, the weekly is not my exact favorite, to be honest with you. It's not the best weekly I've ever seen. And that's because of the quick drop that we've had. I am doing my damnedest to stay bullish right now, everybody. I want to stay bullish. I feel worst case scenario, we just had to having, I would say worst case scenario is we probably, if we lost in the event we lost, let's talk the bearish scenario. In the event we lose 61, where do we go? Let's talk about that. Well, let's consider all these support resistance levels. I would say, if we could hold 52, that would be big, especially because, back here, there's a lot of touches of that level back here too. Losing 61, fingers crossed we hold 52. All right, so kind of maybe something like, we don't want to see a loss of that level because that would really just take us back into, we go back to 52, we could go back to 24. And I don't think that's going to happen. And let me tell you why I don't think that's going to happen. And I think we could be forming a newer basis, a new high for Bitcoin overall. Okay. And that is because with the injection of the ETF money and Wall Street being in the game like they have never been in the game before, they are playing the long game. Wall Street is not here for the short term. Wall Street isn't day trading on us, guys. They are here for the long haul. And I think the baseline for crypto has changed. Sure, the weekly is not my favorite, but the 3-day doesn't look bad. Look at this, the 3-day heavy in the green. It looks like it's going to have a quick little bat. Like, see right here, how it didn't really come down and it came around. It looks like it's about to do that again. I'm staying optimistic right now. As long as Bitcoin holds this level, I'm optimistic. That alarm goes off, I change my tune. But if we hold 61, I'm holding strong. I'm staying bullish. You can't talk me out of it. I'm staying bullish. The daily looks great, by the way. Alpha G, is the graph and VeChain replacing your algo Hbar hype? No. It's like anytime like I do a tweet about any project, like say I make a tweet about Ondo, someone will say, what about algo? I'm like, can I talk about projects in crypto? Like, this is a crypto channel. I like to talk about all things crypto. I like algo. I like Hbar. I like VeChain, and I like the graph. And that's why my portfolio is diversified. It doesn't have to be, well, which one's your favorite? Like, no. The point is diversification. The point is that I hold all of them. That is the point. Yeah, I have to be a maxi, duh. Like that tribalism shit in crypto. Why? Why? Um, all right. Internet computer is blockchain. ICP. Yeah, we can look at ICP. We did look at Bitcoin for like 4 hours. I have so many alts I want to look at. That's the thing. But I really had to explain myself with Bitcoin. This is actually an interesting chart. This is a little insight on some of the Telegram setups yesterday. We were kind of, ranging in here, kind of thinking we're in a conditional range. You kind of see how lately Solana, it has been kind of like a staircase. It's kind of boop, 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 boop. That's how it's been trading, like this, kind of like a cliff, looking like a little bit of a cliff here on Solana. And that's kind of what I'll do is I'll set up conditional range where say Solana was, it actually started off. Oh, what did I just do? Oh, not that. It actually started off. Let me scoot this over. It started off back here. Okay. Because Solana was ranging in between this. All right. And basically my idea was, and I also did go outside of that range there, but it was kind of momentarily and it was testing the 200. So, I would kind of ignore that. But when it popped and broke this level, that is really where this 147.3 alarm, that is kind of where that, would have been the alarm and would have been the long right there. From top to bottom, you really got, a 6% move and a little more than a day. Even if you just went from here to here, 3% move in 4 hours, not bad at all. And then I kind of had another little conditional range set up at this level. If you went off this alarm break here, you got 2% top to bottom. Even if you could have squeezed another 1.5 out of there, higher leverage. Hey, that's a good trade. And now Solana on the 12-minute has broke back down. This alarm has gone off here. So kind of want to consider maybe a short back to there would be a 3% drop in that conditional range. Or if you kind of want to get a little, I wouldn't be too quick to pull the trigger on that short, to be honest with you, though. On those much smaller time frames, it does look like it's putting up a fight at this level, because this is the thing with alarms, man. Sometimes people ask me this all the time, because do you know why people are so scared of alarms? You know why? I'll show you why. Because of this situation right here. This situation right here. Okay? Right here. Because you had this alarm set at that level. Okay? And this alarm goes off. All right? And you say, oh, shit. Shouldn't I short? This alarm went off. Shouldn't I go short? Shouldn't I do it? Well, here's the thing. You still would have made 1%, 1.2% on the short if you went off the second the alarm went off. That's true. And it would have turned around on you fast, but that's why it's a scalp trade. All right. So there are two things you do when an alarm goes off. When an alarm goes off, you can either get in the trade right away. Get in the trade right away. So let's, use this and set your stop loss there. I'm talking a tight stop loss. Because if this alarm goes off, say you go off this alarm break, all right, it's 0.34% of a dent if with that stop loss. All right. You just open the short with a tight stop, send it. Or you watch the chart like a hawk. You just watch it. You watch it. It might take you hours. It might take you days. It might take you 10 minutes because, I personally I'll give it 5 to 10 minutes after an alarm goes off before I really make a decision. And a lot of the times I end up kicking myself because even first alarm break was right here. You would have had a quick trade there. And the thing is, the money's made in the middle, everybody. The money's made in the middle. So say from right here to right here, we're talking this little box of trading. There would have been a time in this trade where, how much time is this here? It's in 2 hours and 40 minutes. 2 hours and 40 minutes. Say you entered at this point. You would have been up, 1.6% in the beginning of the trade. Then you would have been down 1.1%. And then you would have been up 1.6% again an hour or so later. Okay, so this is a roller coaster ride of a trade. The thing is that you are never going to perfectly get in right here, and you're never going to perfectly sell right here. It's just not going to happen. So in a scalp trade situation, and that lasts, most of my scalp trades last less than 90 minutes, less than an hour sometimes. All right. A lot of the time, if you can get this 0.7, 0.5, half a percent, 0.9, if this is the move and you go from here to here, that is a win. That is a win. Lock it up, take it and reevaluate. What people do is that they get in these trades, man, and they don't know what to do. They just always they talk themselves out of making money. All right. It's like I had a call with a platinum member yesterday. We had a really good conversation. And I made that analogy that, I don't care how many books you read about skateboarding. I don't care how intellectually good you are at skateboarding. I don't care how many books you read. I don't care how much you know. Until you put your board on the ground at the skate park and jump on that grip tape and head down the next ramp, you don't know how to skate. Same thing with trading. I don't care how much you know. I don't know how much you read, watch other people, whatever. Until you have hours, days, weeks, months logged, time spent in a trade. That's what I'm trying to teach people. So when everyone, people will ask me, hey, I have $500. Is that enough? Is that enough? If you only have $500, first of all, you shouldn't be trading crypto at all, period. 2, if you want and you don't have a lot of money and you're trying to trade, what is wrong with being in a $20 trade? Do you know how many $10 trades I've been in my life? So many. Every trade. Because you want to spend that time in the ebb and flow. You want to just spend that time locked in a trade, just like you want to spend that time at the skate park, right? You want to get better at skating? Well, you got to put in your 10,000 hours on a grip tape. All right. Same thing with trading. So when you're in these situations, you have to understand that, hey, I'm never going to perfectly nail this. I'm never going to perfectly hit the alarm. I'm never perfectly going to sell the bottom. But if I could take, my $100 trade, $20 trade with 3x leverage and make, 0.8, 0.9% and take the win and reevaluate, that's how you do it. It's not about making $1 million in one trade. It's about making 1 million calculated, concise trades. That's how you win. Consistency, time spent locked. That is what matters. All right. So learn by doing. Exactly. 1000%. Mars can watch Crusty Demons doesn't mean you can jump 200 feet. 1000%. All right. So, one day at a time, everybody, one day at a time. I want you guys to focus on logging those hours. Your ego does not matter to me. I don't care how much money you have. I just want to see people working on it, consistently getting better at it. So, this situation here, let's kind of apply the same logic to this new Solana trade over here. All right. Basically, my point here is, it is kind of coming up on the small time frame. We're talking degen time frames right here. It is giving up a fight at this level. So what I would do in this situation right here, I would kind of say, all right, well, it is fighting at this level. I'm not really 100% sure about, what I would do. I would set an alarm at the lowest level it's gone and at the highest level it's gone. I would wait for a break of either of those. And if it breaks this one, I would even set my long at this level, if that makes sense. I know you're kind of taking some of it away. You're kind of missing this little chunk of the trade here, but I kind of, that's, you're giving up 0.2 of the trade. But that's how I like to operate personally, because I want to see it break up in there, and then I will ride it out from there, even if it kind of hits my level, comes down. Blah, 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 blah. That's kind of how I do it when I get stuck. But a lot of the times, I think the alarm goes off. I'll give it 5 minutes, maybe less, I'll get in the trade with a tight stop. Just get in it. Jump in. You need to be in the trade, right? Get in the trade, run a tight stop. You get stopped out. So what? So what? It's not about chasing it. Don't chase it. You got stopped out. Try again. Rinse, repeat. It's not, that's how we do it. That's how we do it. All right, Crypto Alliance, you're totally. I respectfully disagree how your brain interpreted the words I said. I'm all for people starting with nothing to get into crypto. I started with nothing and got into crypto and have made boogling money. And I'm all for it. I'm saying that if you have $500, you should not be leverage trading crypto. Okay? Leverage trading is not for someone that only has $500 to their name. Just like I would say to someone that only has $500 that they shouldn't be playing slots at the casino. They should not be playing poker. They should not be, they should be trying to build something. I built my first portfolio buying and holding, buying and holding, buying and holding. And as time went on, I learned more and more and more and more and more about crypto to the point where I had enough experience to where I felt comfortable getting into a leverage trade. But before that, no way. No way. So respectfully, use your ears. I'm so mean. All right. So cool. Man, this whiff chart, bro. This whiff chart. Oh, this thing has just been all over the damn place. All over the damn place. And I've been seeing this this thing has gone all over the place, man. And I think with the loss of this level and even the local low, I would consider hunting shorts on this one. I mean, we didn't really look into what Bitcoin is doing on the 12-minute. I do want to take a quick look at that. What's Bitcoin doing on the 12-minute? I want to take a quick look at a couple charts I'm going to call today. I mean, Bitcoin doesn't look that bad on the 12. If you want to if you really wanted to leverage trade today, first of all, Bitcoin holding this little fella, Bitcoin loses 65.5. That would kind of be the point where I would be more comfortable shorting altcoins. Because a lot of altcoin trades do come down to, hey, what is Bitcoin doing? And see with my Solana idea, everybody. That's why, right when I said, hey, set that little level, that's why I would set that, that level here. I would even I would set my entry there for that confirmation. And that's why I do that. Because look at this. Boom. It's already at 0.37. You're already winning that trade. So when it comes to this whiff chart, I'm kind of going to take my time with this one. I'm not really going to rush into a trade. It is kind of in a conditional range here and here. Definitely set those alarms. I gave this one to the Telegram group yesterday. There's a handful of alarms. One's at 289. One's at 279. Little 10-cent range there. Someone really wants me to show Arbitrum. All right, let's do it. Here's the Ondo chart. Let me just look at the Ondo 2-hour. Not my favorite, but it's still in that ascending broadening. Arbitrum. All right. I'm going to get rid of the dual bench strength index here. All right. So Arbitrum on the 2-hour is certainly in, I can't really draw that. You can even draw it from here. Yeah, that makes a little bit more sense. It's in a pretty steep down channel here. Very steep down channel. All right. And I'm going to get rid of the EMAs too for now. Okay. So let me see. I'm drawing this. Okay. All right, I don't hate that drawing. So right now with Arbitrum on the 2-hour, the first thing I would do would be to draw this. Draw this. Okay. Yeah, my voice is getting better as I go. That's true. Uh, so if we get a break of that level, get a break of that band, that could be a very good sign. Also, a break of this local high here at 127.4. Uh, even I would feel a lot better if we got above 139, and that could even form its own range there. Like say we get a breakout, it could kind of. So both of those levels are important, but locally, these are the two levels: this downtrend and 127. So alarm that up for sure. Let me bring back all the indicators here. Look at the daily. Zoom this bad boy in. Yeah, so it is a little it's like it's coming up in the oscillator, but it's still kind of like in the red. And I know it's below the EMAs as well. So this is kind of, oh man, that sucks. So Arbitrum, with that death cross on the daily, that's not what you want to see. That's not what you want to see. That's rough. Man, I didn't realize how hard this one got hit. We are talking top to bottom. Oh, that's January. Well, interesting enough, Arbitrum did not put in a higher high in the most recent run. It was up higher in January than it was here, down 49% in 46 days. I did not realize how hard Arbitrum got wiped. I don't hold any in my bag, so I wouldn't have known that, which is why I like buying a small amount of a lot of coins just to kind of really have skin in the game. You understand the fluctuations a lot more when you have skin in the game. But man, this one's, yeah, it really comes down to breaking out of those levels here. On the 2 hour, it is good that it finally got above the 50. So let's see if it's going to enter a point here where it's going to either break out of this downtrend or it's going to have to go back under the 50 EMA and continue the downtrend. So it's actually a really, really good time to look at Arbitrum. I'm setting that alarm. I think that's a trade. I'm going to set this alarm here on this downtrend only once. And then I'm going to set another alarm at 127, like I said before. And then the next couple of days, that is a trade waiting to happen. Shout out to whoever wanted me to look at Arbitrum. All right, well, I'm going to get out of here. It's 11:38. There are so many other charts I want to talk about, but we're going to talk about those tomorrow. We can't cover it all in one day. I always try to smash everything I can when I finally catch a flow, but I think it's more important to just knock today's show out, especially with how I feel. I feel a lot better because I get into doing the show with you guys. Man, you guys rock. I appreciate each and every one of you. Crypto Alliance, I'm glad we reached an agreement on that. I definitely don't want people to, I don't want to lead people in the wrong direction. I want people to work up to leverage trading. And in the meantime, to actually educate themselves about crypto and make that big difference. I understand what it's like to struggle to, not have money for dinner. Like, I know what that's like. It sucks. And that's why I'm so passionate about this stuff. That's why I come on here every day, and say whatever I can to share my experience, like on how I went from point A to point B. And that's, at the end of the day, that's really what matters. So give it hell, everybody. Give it hell, everybody. You going to UFC 302? I'm not sure. I think I might be going to Saudi Arabia next month. I don't know. And I know I'm going to International Fight Week as well. So I'm not 100% sure. So, SWFL Crypto, how do you manage small amounts of various coins if you recommend maxing at 10 to 12 coins? Okay, so there's my actual portfolio, and then I kind of exclude what I am actually doing. I wouldn't recommend anyone else to do. Okay, I'll say that. My actual portfolio and my day trade bag and my mess around bag are three different things with three different strategies. So for my actual portfolio, yeah, I wouldn't do that. For my mess around money, I'll do whatever I want. For my day trade money, I take that seriously. So, it's kind of more about doing, real questions 303. Oh, Conor McGregor. I will certainly be at UFC 303. No question at all about that. I will be there to see Conor. All right, everybody, smash the like button if you haven't already. I appreciate you all. Subscribe to the channel. If you want to join my Telegram group, we have over 100 people in the group now. I love to see it. Send me an email down below, ajalphagroup@gmail.com. We've been knocking out trades left and right over at the group. I'm certainly feeling a lot better despite still being sick. Going to be a lot more active in the group. This week and the months to come, we have a lot of money to make. So let's do it together. My name's AJ Wrights Crypto. Get rich, don't get wrecked. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.